Yeah, I interviewed Fat MC and I asked him, well, how come he didn't do Treat Him and stuff? And he said, no, that you said, nope, we don't need your biggest hit, but there's a particular, wanted to honor Andre because I think Andre had just passed by the time you did it. And, but I've spoken to all the people from Donnell to the guys from Mike and Slim from 112 and Lily from SWV. And I always say, and even your good friend, Bo Leg and Lou, and they all talk about how much you exude the passion, that it's not just an act. And I think El DeBarge summed it properly, that that you are naturally you just love people, love music, and just love spreading joy. And I think some of us might think, well, he's just a little too happy, but then that's you. And I think we've come to really appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much. It really makes me emotional to hear that you've spoken to all these artists about me. I knew you had spoken to a few about me. I've seen a few clips, but I have not seen the full episodes of all the shows you just mentioned. And I have to go back now and watch them. In fact, on a side note, I would love those clips because I would love to incorporate them into the reel. I get really emotional when I hear about artists talking about the show, particularly when I'm not around. People say nice things about you when you're around, but it's what people say when you're not listening that really hits home. And to know that you've even brought up my name to these artists is something that feels very surreal to me. And to know that they talked about me with you in a positive light and had fond memories of me and the show is the greatest gift the show could ever give me. Wow. I know that's not the same gift the show gives everyone else, but from a personal perspective, hearing artists talk about this show when I'm not around is the greatest gift I could ever receive. Because then I really know I did something right. If you impress your heroes, that's the greatest gift ever. To impress your heroes, that's something you can only dream about as a kid. So when you tell me El DeBarge talked about me, really? SWV talked about me? Father MC, was a pivotal artist in the Andre Harrell Uptown Records history and remains a very, very important person carrying on the legacy of Uptown. His partner in crime, Jimmy Love, was Andre Harrell's right-hand man, and Father and Jimmy are still very close and work together and do a lot of projects together. And I know Father through the Andre Harrell, Jimmy Love, O'Neal McKnight circle. And it was very important for me to have him on that show that was a celebration in many ways of the New Jack Swing era, the Uptown Records era, the Teddy Riley era, the Andre Harrell era, and Andre had just passed. And, one reason I did want to do the song we did was because there was a line that mentioned Andre Harrell. And it was very important to me. But, these shows are a puzzle. Putting together songs seamlessly in a 30-minute show is a puzzle. Now, you got to remember, prior to BET, I had no time restraints whatsoever. So the shows could be however long I wanted. Now that I do them for BET, the shows are 30 minutes, but commercials take up 10 minutes. So when I deliver a show to BET, the show has to be 19 minutes, 45 seconds, and not one frame longer or shorter.
Wow.
So imagine putting together a DJ mix, but it needing to be exactly a certain amount of time. So putting together songs is a musical puzzle. It's a technical puzzle. So that also has an effect on what songs I choose and where songs go. Obviously, creative is the number one, but there's also technical elements that affect those decisions.
I mean, now that you've done all this stuff with BT and you've got all the big, Jesse and all these people involved, does it feel more, you know, when you did it by yourself, did it seem like it was more work then? Does it feel like it's more work and pressure now?
Well, I think it's more work for television because there are guidelines and there are parameters and there are delivery specs, and you also have to deliver it a certain time in advance, so you have deadlines. The first 3 volumes, I think I was making changes the night before. So it's definitely more work for television. But any way you slice it, all 9 episodes have been a complete labor of love and have locked me in the house. I mean, when I begin, I don't leave the house for at least a month. You know, I don't think I leave the house to go to lunch or go to dinner. I literally go outside to the backyard just to get some sun on my face for 5 minutes, but I really don't leave the house.
Wow. Because that's probably explains when if those of us who follow you on your social media would see you at one point going all places, but then now there seems to be a quiet, there seems to be a complete lockdown and stuff like that. And I guess it's what you're saying.
Yeah,
you're busy working.
Yeah,
and
I don't do many interesting things while I'm shooting past the mic, other than shooting past the mic.
And finally, just the because I saw the Pegasus, so the event that you did. So
yes, Pegasus World Cup.
Pegasus World Cup. And so are we going to expect to see Past the Mic as a concept going more so? Because that in itself just felt like, wow, you know, they felt like, wow, this could be great, getting some of our favorite artists on a bill and touring the country.
100% yes. For those listening who are unaware, I debuted Past the Mic Live, a certain kind of tease, a prototype for the future to foreshadow what's to come. The Pegasus World Cup is like the Kentucky Derby. It's the biggest horse race of the year in America. It takes place annually in Miami. Thousands of people attend, and there's always a big concert at the end. 2 years ago, Post Malone headlined. Wow. The year before, Snoop Dogg. The year before, Nelly. So this year, they called me and asked me if DJ Cassidy's Past the Mic could be the main event. And I surprised guests with Ja Rule, Little Kim, and Mace. And then Little Kim surprised us all with Jadakiss and Little C's. And then I brought out El DeBarge, who we've mentioned many times, and he closed the entire show with Rhythm of the Night.
Yeah.
And all the hip hop stars came on stage with him, and it was magical. And the presentation of the show, the production of the show, was exactly what I had always envisioned. It really was the real life manifestation of the television series.
Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, to press the notification bell so that you can be notified when we do have a new interview. Loads to come, but thanks a lot for watching.